as folks are coming on and we're preparing to come into practice together tonight, I want to invite folks to type in to the chat a bracha or a kavanah, an intention, a prayer, something you'd like to offer to the group or to the world, or something you'd like to get out of practicing tonight together. And let us know where you are so we can see where people are zooming in from. Hanai, nai, 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 hanai, nai, hanai, nai, hanai, nai, highlight, die, 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 na, 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 yada, die, 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 yada, na, na, hanai, na, ya, ya, ya. Yanai, yanai, hanai, nai, 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 hanai, nai, nai, nai. Thanks so much, folks, for writing into the chat. For folks who are just coming on, you're invited to type in a blessing or a kavanah, an intention, into the chat and let us know where you are. It could just be a hello, a well-wishing of any kind to help set the sacred space. Hanai, nai, dai, dai, yanai, nai, ya, ya, da, dai, dai, dai. Hanai, nai, 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 hala, yo. Hanai, nai, 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 na, nai, nai, hanai, nai, nai, hanai, nai, 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 yalai, lai, 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 yo. Good evening, Erev Tov. So there's this story about Reb Simcha Bunim, the Hasidic rabbi, that during his time before he was a Rebbe, he was a dealer in lumber. He was a merchant, and he would often travel to the city of Danzig. And the story goes that one time when he was staying in Danzig, he had planned to stay over Shabbat, and he found a man who lived by himself, who was known as a sweet person and a scholar, and he wanted to stay with him for Shabbat. But this man was exceedingly poor, had almost nothing. So Reb Simcha had new dishes brought to his house, and food brought to his house, and utensils brought to his house. New clothes he had brought to us. All these things he showered upon this man and stayed with him for Shabbat. And when Shabbat was over and he was leaving, he tried to give him a sum of money as well. And the man said, no, please, you've given me so much. I mean, your gifts are overwhelming. You can't possibly give me some money too. And he said, oh, no, I didn't give you all those things. What are you talking about? I'm like filled with new dishes, new silverware, new clothes, all kinds of food. What are you talking about? And he said, no, you don't understand. I gave you those things for me. I didn't give them to you. I gave them for me because I saw you here in all this poverty, and my heart, I had pity on you. So I had to give all this stuff to you to make me feel better. Now I feel better. Now I can give something to you. And he quotes a verse in the Torah that talks about uplifting the destitute, where it says, "You shall give, and your heart shall not be grieved when you give." And so in several different places this Hasidic teaching appears on this verse, that in the ordinary understanding of it, your heart shouldn't be grieved when you give. It means, you shouldn't give begrudgingly. You should give with an open heart. But a Hasidic teaching or interpretation on this verse is not just that you shouldn't begrudge it or that you shouldn't feel bad about losing something, but actually that you should give once you have given enough already, so that you don't feel bad that the person is in poverty. So you give until they're not in poverty anymore, and then you actually can do the mitzvah of giving. So it's really a teaching about generosity. It's an ethical teaching about chesed, about tzedakah, about giving. But I bring it up because it's also a wonderful teaching about meditation, if we understand it in a bit more of a metaphorical sense. Because very often when we approach meditation, we approach it in order to feel something from it for ourselves, to get something out of it, just as we would give to the poor person so that we would feel better because we don't feel comfortable with them being poor. In the same kind of way, it's natural to want to practice and want to meditate to feel better. And even without meditation, like in ordinary life, when is it that we get out of our heads and we stop all of the endless kind of meanderings of the mind and we really pay attention to what's going on? Often the thing that brings us into that kind of attention is some sort of crisis situation, something that we have to really pay attention to because we have to, because there's something that needs our attention. And it's a lot less, it's a more rare occurrence that a person gives their attention fully to what's going on in the moment when there's not a crisis. But that's exactly what meditation is all about. When we practice coming into presence, that means coming into bringing our attention into connection with the present moment. It's as if there's something there needing our attention, but we're doing it anyway, even without that. We're just sitting in this, hopefully you have a place that's safe and relatively quiet, relatively free from distractions, and there's nothing grabbing at our attention. And yet we make this intentional shift into giving generously, not of our money, not of our goods, but of our attention, giving our attention just as if someone is needing to tell us something very important, or just as if we have to listen to see if some robber is coming in the door, right? You can imagine some crisis situation that would get your attention in the same kind of way, but without the negativity, without that urgency, just letting go of the stream of the mind and giving generously of our attention from the heart. And the miracle is, of course, that when we do that, the natural falling away of that movement of the mind and of thought allows us to feel whatever is here in the present moment in a more intimate and connected way. And even more deeply, we may get to the recognition that everything that's happening in this moment that we experience is being perceived inside of some kind of vast stillness, some kind of vast field of awareness. And that's actually who we are in the deepest level, beneath that movement of the mind, beneath the occupations, the clingings, the longings of the heart. Beyond all of those things, there is this stillness, this openness, this vastness. These are just words pointing to something that all of us are experiencing equally right now. It's not something we have to reach for or achieve. It's your awareness that's hearing these words already. And so it's just a question then of coming into being that awareness rather than being the mind striving, thinking, planning, figuring out, going back in time to what happened, thinking about what's going to happen, and just being connected to what's happening right now, including thoughts. Thoughts may arise when we're practicing presence, and you just notice the thoughts and allow them to dissipate. And one of the metaphors for the shift that happens when we do this is the metaphor of water, because just as water, when you pour water into a vessel, it takes the shape of the vessel without any resistance. The water doesn't say, oh, I don't like that part of the vessel, I'm going to shrink away from that. No, it just whoosh, effortlessly takes the shape of the vessel. So in the same way with meditation, we seek to really let go and surrender on the inside and allow ourselves to take the shape of this moment, however it appears on the level of thought, on the level of feeling, on the level of sensory awareness, pleasant, unpleasant. It doesn't matter. Of course, we hope it's pleasant, but but nevertheless, whatever it is, we merge with it like water. And of course, in doing that, there's a deeper kind of pleasantness that comes about to the degree that we can really let go into that, into whatever the present is presenting to us. So I see there's a note to, you're having trouble hearing my sound. I'm bringing the mic closer to my face. So I'd like to sing tonight with you a chant for the letter Mem, which is the letter that represents water, that fluidity, that surrender, that merging. And Mem is associated in the system of the Sefer Yetzirah, which is early Kabbalistic work, associated with this season that probably many of us are feeling a lot right now, the season of winter. And so this verse from this Mem chant actually comes from a prayer for rain that's traditionally sung during Shmini Atzeret, but it's such a wonderful verse for water because it describes the properties of water. So I'll put that on the screen. That is not big enough. Let me make it bigger. Okay, so this is chant for the letter Mem. Chon chashrat mayim means grant abundant water. And if you're in need of rain wherever you are, you can have the kavanah of this chant on the literal level, but really it's not, it doesn't have to be on the literal level. It's really the symbolic sense of water being consciousness. And so we're really praying that may our consciousness come forth in abundance and flood the fullness of this moment. Al timna mayim. Don't hold back your awareness from anything in your experience. You don't need to shrink away. Even if there's something painful there, a painful emotion, when you give your attention to the painful emotion, it has a healing effect. So it may sting temporarily, but we really need to bring our attention fully into whatever it is that is real for us in the moment. So we can sing together. Hon chashrat mayim al Hashrat Mayim Chon Hashrat Mayim Chon Hashrat Mayim Hatim Namayim Hatim Namayim Hatim Namayim Hatim Namayim Chon Hashrat Mayim Chon Hashrat Mayim Chon Hashrat Mayim Chon Hashrat Mayim Hatim Namayim Hatim Namayim Hatim Namayim Hatim Namayim Chon Hashrat Mayim Chon Hashrat Mayim Chon Hashrat Mayim Chon Hashrat Mayim Hatim Namayim Hatim Namayim Hatim Namayim Hatim Namayim Chon Hashrat Mayim Chon Hashrat Mayim Chon Hashrat Mayim Chon Hashrat Mayim. And preparing to come into silent meditation, just taking a moment to make sure that your devices are on Do Not Disturb if you need to do that. Bringing your body into a comfortable, relaxed position, but also conveying alertness. Bringing forth the attitude from within of offering your attention fully to this moment as it appears on all levels. On the sensory level, your body and space. On the feeling level of whatever emotional tone might be present. The falling away and rising and falling away again of thought. being the consciousness behind all of that, noticing, keeping yourself in attentive alertness to what is present. And bringing your right hand to your heart, offering your attention to this moment from the heart, offering awareness as a gift with the word lecha, which means for you, the offering word lecha. Deep breath in. Lecha. And bringing left hand to your belly, awareness falling like water, like a waterfall running down from your mind, down into the body, letting go of the stream of thinking, drenching your body with consciousness, feeling the inner belly, awareness connecting with your organs, flowing downward from your belly, down through your legs to your feet and toes, rising upward into your chest, upper back, shoulders and neck, down through your arms and hands and fingers, feeling the flow of your breathing, letting your awareness be content to simply touch that feeling of the in-breath and the out-breath. Awareness rising from your torso into your face, facial muscles, brain and nervous system. Bringing a little smile to your lips to convey this benevolence, this openness, willingness of consciousness to simply dwell in the body and let go of its preoccupation with thought. And anchoring this body connection with Na'aseh, and a long out breath. Deep breath in. Na'aseh. And with your left hand still on your belly, bringing right hand to lightly touch your forehead. Shifting to become aware also of the space around you, the inner space of the body and the outer space of the world around you, the sounds, the objects in the room, the light, noticing both the inner and the outer, and knowing that all of this that you perceive right now is being perceived inside your consciousness. And in fact, it's not your consciousness, but you are the consciousness. And that consciousness is given as a gift, as our essence. Boundless, still, silent, free, openness. And you are this field. You are this openness, affirming identity with the field of consciousness, with V'nishma on a long out breath. Deep breath in. V'nishma. Kissing your fingers, relaxing your hands. Atyahu, you who are reality itself, not separate from anything that we perceive, not separate from this consciousness that hears these words right now. Atyahu, you are the divine. Chanting together. Atyahu, 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 Atyahu. Atyahu, Atyahu, And coming into silence, just vibrating the words in your mind, Atyahu. Staying alert to notice as thoughts come into your mind, noticing the thoughts, no need to push them away, but just simply not leaning into them, not following the thoughts, but returning the mind again and again to the tefillah Atyahu as we sit in stillness for about 10 minutes. Taking a nice deep breath. A little stretch with your arms. Get some blood flowing to your limbs. And closing the meditation once again, bringing your right hand to your heart and offering your awareness from your heart to the fullness of this moment with Lecha, deep breath in, Lecha, and bringing your left hand to your belly, awareness feeling down into your body, filling the entire temple of your body with consciousness. Naaseh, deep breath in, Naaseh, and bringing right hand to lightly touch your forehead, aware of the space around you, knowing the inner and outer world are all arising in the space. Oops, my son is playing drums. I'm going to turn my mic off, but we can chant Venishma, Venishma. Kissing your fingers, relaxing your hands. Looks like my wife got him to stop that. Okay. May the seeds that we've planted tonight blossom into greater consciousness and bringing the fruits of that consciousness of wisdom and love to every moment, every situation that we find ourselves in. O say shalom bimromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael, v'al kol yoshvei tevel v'imru, Amen. Amen. And let's do a little healing prayer. You're welcome to type into the chat the names of those for whom you'd like to make a healing prayer. You're very welcome, Jeffrey. Thank you for writing in. And as we see the names come through the chat, we hold them all in our kavanah for refuah shalema, complete healing. El na refana la, El na refana la, El na refana la, El na refana la. Yehi ratzon milefnecha Adonai Eloheinu v'le'avoteinu v'imotenu shetishlach mehera refuah shalema, refuat nefesh u'refuat guf l'chol hacholim. May there be a complete healing of body, mind, and spirit to all who we hold in our hearts in prayers and all who are in need. And we say, Amen.
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 Amen. And we'll close with the Kaddish tonight. If you are in the first 11 months of mourning or observing a yahrzeit, anniversary of a death, you're welcome to rise in body or spirit and say Kaddish together. We'll say Kaddish on mute. Those who are not saying Kaddish, please briefly unmute yourselves for the responses, the Amen, Brichu, and Yehi Shmei Rabbah. And if someone would like to lead the Kaddish right now, someone who's saying Kaddish, please just unmute yourself and let us know that you'd like to lead the Kaddish.
It's Ruth. I could do it.
Okay, great. Okay, thank you, Ruth. Ruth will lead us in Kaddish. And folks, please be careful to stay on mute except for when we get to the responses. just to avoid that, some of the extraneous noise. Okay, thank you, Ruth.
Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah.
Amen.
V'yalma divrach hiruteh v'yamlich malchuteh. V'chayechon uvyomechon uv'chaye dechol Beit Yisrael ba'agala uvizman kari v'yamru Amen.
Amen. Yehi Shmei Rabba Mevorach Leolam Ulamei Amaya.
Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh v'yithadar v'yitaleh v'yithalal shemei d'kudashah b'richu.
Brichu.
Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushbachata v'nechemata damiran bi'alma v'yimru Amen.
Amen.
Yehi shlama rabba min shemaya v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'yimru Amen.
Amen.
Usei shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'al kol yoshvei tevel v'yimru Amen.
Amen. Thank you so much, everybody, for supporting the mourners. Thank you, Ruth, for leading us. May our memories of those who have left this plane inspire us to bring our consciousness, our full selves, as deeply as we can to this and every moment. Amen. Thank you so much, everybody, for coming on. Have a blessed night. Those who are on Facebook, thank you for tuning in. And I'm going to stop the live stream. So all blessings to those on Facebook and on YouTube.